Have you ever struggled with a drop-down menu that just won't display your selected item? It's frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to set the selected item in a Reactstrap dropdown. I completely understand how annoying it can be when you select an item from a dropdown and it just doesn't show up. You're definitely not alone in this. Many developers face this issue when working with Reactstrap. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "How do I set the selected item in a Reactstrap dropdown?" They mentioned that after selecting an item, it doesn't display correctly. Sound familiar? Let's work through this together. So what could be causing this issue? Often, it comes down to how the state is managed in your React component. We'll break it down step by step so you can understand what's going wrong. And don't go anywhere. I've got a working solution at the end that will help you set the selected item correctly in your dropdown. To set the selected item in a Reactstrap dropdown, the user should start by creating a state variable to hold the selected value. This will allow the dropdown to display the currently selected item. Next, the user needs to update the dropdown's toggle button to display the selected value. This is done by using the state variable created earlier. Now the user should implement the change value function. This function will update the state with the selected item's text when an item is clicked. Finally, the user must ensure that each dropdown item calls the change value function when clicked. This will update the displayed value in the dropdown. Fun fact: did you know that dropdowns were first introduced in graphical user interfaces in the 1980s? They've come a long way since then, but the basics remain the same. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach shared by another user involves adding a value attribute to the dropdown items. When an item is clicked, the onDropdown item click function captures the selected value and updates the state accordingly. This method also allows for an optional onChange callback to be triggered. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by a user involves using a different structure for the dropdown. They suggest initializing the state with a currency variable and a dropdown open state. The toggle method updates the dropdown's open state, while the handleChange method sets the selected currency. In the render method, they create a button dropdown that includes a dropdown toggle and dropdown menu, with dropdown items for each currency. This approach allows you to easily retrieve the selected value using the currency state. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always ensure your state is updated correctly when working with dropdowns. This simple habit can save you hours of debugging. And there you have it. Your Reactstrap dropdown should now display the selected item correctly. Remember, managing state is key. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on advanced React techniques.